We are talking transfers and ranking transfers. Take it easy over there, Ralph. Your neck's gonna pop out. But let's talk about some of the recent transfer rumors, and you guys let me know like what you guys think about them. If you think that's a good move or not, or if you have anything more to say about the player, or maybe a different transfer that you think that they should go here instead of this team, or even stay at the team that they're already at.
Okay.
Some of the transfer rumors. These are early days, so like things can change really really fast, and sometimes it looks like it's a lock for a player to go to a certain team, and then in the last second, it'll be a completely different player.
I got a
So
question on that.
go ahead.
What is the transfer window like? These transfers you're gonna talk to us about.
hmm
When can they happen? Like,
When the window opens, I think it's the 14th of June,
oh, so it's
July.
coming up. It's not like we gotta wait till
Oh
January,
yeah,
right?
no. This
Okay.
is
No,
there's
like,
two transfer
yeah,
windows.
there's
Go
two
ahead, Jess.
transfer windows. There's just like two transfer windows, and then like even you can also do is like get agreements with the team and the player you want before the transfer window, and then they'll leave during the transfer window.
Like Gahey did it with you guys for City. He
Yeah,
he already said that he was gonna sign with them right when the window opens, and then right when the window opens in January, it was already done.
Isn't that crazy? Because like in the U.S. like basketball, isn't it like you can't even talk to that player until
No, yeah,
a certain point?
and I think there is something about this now that you also there's a certain limit where you can go, like you can't go too deep into the player. You can talk to his agent, but I don't know if
Not
you can
him
make too
directly?
much contact with the actual player itself. So let's talk about some of the transfer rumors that have been circulating. Um, this is a player that I think all three of us have known for a little bit. Brazilian, Endrick. He was at Real, and he's
Endrick Lamar.
no Endrick, just Endrick.
and his name is Kendrick, by the way,
Yeah.
not Endrick.
But Endrick it got loaned out this year to Leon, team in Paris,
Lyon.
Lyon. But I wanted to talk about like, do you think he should go back? That's the rumor. Like, get
Like
loaned
they
out
buy him?
again. No,
Mm.
no, to get loaned out one more time. What do you think? Do you think he should just try to play his hand and stay at Real and not accept the transfer for him to go over there and get loaned out again, or you think it's a good move for him to stay over there? What do you think, Jess?
I think Endrick, he's doing really good at
He's been balling.
yeah, he's been doing really good at Lyon. He's been starting a lot. I'm pretty sure he's starting as right wing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I think he's been doing really good. He got a hat trick over there. He's scored. He's done a bunch. He's also affected PSG's league title,
Yeah.
which they won 2-1 with PSG scoring in the last minutes, which was to me crazy.
Mhm.
And Endrick scored and assisted in that game.
Yeah.
So I think he's super good out there. I think he should stay there, especially because it seems like he's liking it over
Yeah,
there.
I think it looks like he has a lot of stress off of him. Like he looks like he's playing more free. I feel like at Real you can see like the pressure was kind of like weighing on him. He almost looked depressed to play. And I think you're right. I think that move for him to stay in France would be probably better for him in the long run. But what do you think, Ralph?
Well, like Jazz said, I mean, he's starting, he's scoring, he's assisting, he's having fun. And like you said, he doesn't look a bit happy in Real. And not only that, but you only see him come in and play a couple of minutes. It's not
Mhm.
like he gets like a full half or he even gets to start a few games. I don't think
Mm.
I ever saw him start a game. But no, I think he needs to leave the pressure, like you said, in Real, because when he went to Real, they were expecting him to be the next great Brazilian player,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, most Brazilian players when they come to a league, they're always like, are they the next big Brazilian player? Like that's been the cliche for a long time in football.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of died down a little bit after, I think, what was the last one? Neymar, maybe you could say, was the last one.
Yeah.
Last what?
Like great Brazilian player where you're
Great.
like,
Neymar would say is the
yeah,
Mhm.
highest we've gone since.
yeah, because you have Esteval, but Esteval just he had the great performance in the Club World Cup, was it? Or
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, Endrick, I think, was he a product of Real Madrid or
No,
No.
he came from Palmeiras.
he also came from Palmeiras out there. So yeah, that's a lot of pressure just going from a Brazilian squad to a PSG or a Real or anywhere of the top 6 leagues.
I mean, Vinny could be considered a top thing for some people, especially because of the Ballon d'Or.
No, he
rankings, which he
was,
got
but
second.
I didn't know, was Vinny after Neymar then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Vinny was probably the last
because
one.
Vinny got second place in 24,
Yeah.
the 24 season, and then Neymar.
Yeah, when he didn't even go to the ceremony,
No,
right?
but you could consider Vinny one, and people might not, and people may.
I
But-
think he is, but they Brazilian players, I think they always have that pressure on them. But I think the rest of the world has caught up with all the younger players. Like you
I
see the Lamine Yamals and stuff.
You could say Rafinha as well from last season.
Yeah,
Rafinha
but
from last season.
But I'm
getting
talking about hype. Like
Well-
you have hype from Santos, Palmeiras, Flamingo, or Fluminense. Is that they're all Brazilian,
Yeah,
right?
Fluminense.
Yeah, so all those teams, you've had like the Ronaldinhos that come out of there, and it's like this guy's the next big thing. So I think that's a lot of pressure. I think he needs to leave that at Real and focus on Lyon. And if anybody picks him up after that, I think he'll be a great addition. But I think he'll make a name for himself at Lyon. If he goes back to Brazil or to Real, I think he's gonna disappear.
Yeah. Let's jump to the next one. Rafael Leao.
Rafael.
Yeah, from Milan to either PSG or Barcelona, because they're saying that Barcelona might not do that option for Rashford, and that Leao would be in a similar range for money wise.
Would it be like loan, or would it be
I think Barcelona would have to do a loan at first to see, but I mean having Leao on Barcelona's books, that'd be good for them as well. What do you guys think? Leao to PSG or Barcelona? Who would you say he should go to? Because I do think 100% he leaves Milan this summer. I think that's a done deal. He's done. I think he needs to leave. Where would you pick him to go?
For me, I know he's French, and PSG is
He's not French.
I'm sorry, he's Portuguese. For some reason, I thought he was French.
You always say it. Me
I
and
know.
Jazz always are like,
It's
what are you
his-
talking about?
It's his name. It just sounds French, but
Does it?
well, it sounds actually Italian, Raphael. But
So what is your name, Italian?
no, you know why it's not?
Here we go.
Because the Italians
Because
spell
you're
it
Mexican.
spell it with PH, and Mexicans spell it with F. So that's
On
the reason.
Theo's. Nah, I'm not even gonna go into. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, Leao, I think you want to go to a PSG because they're so great,
Mhm.
but I think he would do better, and he's a better fit. And like you said, if Rashford leaves, he would fit so well in that. I mean, Barcelona would just be elevated even more because I'm glad you're falling asleep over there.
You
but
haven't
he-
had many. I'm waiting for you to pick up a little bit.
I'm talking as fast as I can here. We're over there.
Go ahead.
So, imagine a Barcelona team. Rashford, great player, but Leao is a little bit more athletic. He's faster.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm laughing because I just think it's funny. I don't know why I don't think Leao is as committed as Rashford is to Barcelona. That's the problem for me for Leao.
Well, he's unhappy in Milan.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna not think great about him because he hasn't been happy for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, but if you watch them play, when you first were like, oh, you should see Rafa Leao and Theo Hernandez on the right side, they
together,
were
yeah.
a big tandem.
Uh-huh.
To have that guy with that enthusiasm play on a Barcelona team that already plays up and down,
Mm.
I think it would be great. If he tries to go to PSG, what is he going to do? Kick Cava to the bench? Kvaratskhelia? He's not going to bench Kvaratskhelia over Rafa Leao, so I don't think he'd be a good fit for PSG. I think it'd be a fun place for him to go and maybe try to get some playing time, but if he wants to start and make an impact right away, if Barcelona does not re-sign Rashford, I think that's the perfect fit for him.
What do you think, Jess?
I think he should go to neither.
Neither?
I think PSG.
Where would you let him? Where would you think he should go, Jess?
I think he should go to like. I think he should stay in the City A, but just a different team.
A City A.
They're
I
too
think-
little.
I think he
that's
should
it.
just stay there. I mean, PSG, they're too stacked. They have too many people on that wing because he plays left wing, and they're way too stacked. They have Barcola, they have Gava.
You're right.
Then you can
I also said
put
that, by the way.
you could also put Doué on that same side as well.
Yeah.
You know? And then PSG. I mean, not PSG, but Barcelona. I mean, yeah, they might not have Rashford, but if Rafael goes, then would you be leaving Rafinha out the squad?
I didn't even think about that, Jazz, because you mentioned what's his name, Rashford,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I forgot Rafinha was there. So yeah, that'd be a
Well, Rafinha's currently injured, but he should be back.
yeah, he'll be back.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, you gotta remember that he's a important player for this team. He's a good leader, and you know that's the problem is that you can't put Rafael on the other side because you have Lamine Yamal. I mean, either way, if he goes to PSG or Barcelona, he's gonna be on the bench.
Yeah.
I think.
I think another choice that he can look into is maybe a Premier League team. Maybe testing his luck. He's a physical guy too. He can get up and down, and he can bang with some of the bigger wingers over there as well. Him and I saw a little report that even Bayern was looking at
Bayern.
Leao too, but for him to be a backup for Luis
Yeah.
and have him kind of having that type of role. But
So wherever he goes, he's gonna be.
he's
a
he's
bench.
gonna have to fight for his position. Yeah.
By the way, you're talking about the Premier League without we couldn't even think of wingers. to
No, I'm
put on
saying
our
that
top
like there's a
11.
lot of wingers that are like of his height. So like it's not gonna be like he's not gonna be like playing in a league that like doesn't suit him. And I'm worried that, you know, maybe La Liga might be a little bit too crafty for a player like him. That maybe he fits more of like the style and play of a Premier League team than he does
Yeah.
a La Liga team. You know, because like they're very footy over there at La Liga. Like you have to have some real like that's some of Rashford's problem is that like you're like if he had a better touch like this would be a goal, you know.
Yeah, he's athletic, but yeah, that touch.
Yeah, the touch is bad. But let's jump to the next one. This was the one that it's personal for me, also for Ralph, is Bernardo Silva to either Juve or Barcelona. And I'll start this one off. Bernie to Barcelona is ace. He fits it so well. You know why? Because Pedri's is not going to be able to play the same amount of minutes as he does this year, next year as well. Like the minutes will catch up. But imagine Bernie bringing Champions League pedigree to Barcelona and being like, this is how we do it, boys. Like, this is how we build and this is how we like execute these big games. The problem with Barcelona now is that so many of these players, does any of them have a Champions League? Like, I don't think anybody does. And Bernie could be like, look it, dude, I played under Pep. I know what it takes to win the league titles. I know how to win Champions League. Like, follow me. And Bernie's not a guy, I think he understands. He even does it with Turkey now. He lets Turkey do all the, he lets them be creative and stuff. And Bernie's there to help out and explain how to bring effort into the game. Bernie to Barcelona is just so classy. And it's going to be on a free. You have to remember, like, you don't have to pay squat for this guy. You're going to pay his wages and they're going to be way less. But it's free. You don't have to pay a transfer fee. Like, that's huge. It would be huge for him to go to Juve as well.
Especially
But
for
Barcelona is just phenomenal. He said he's always wanted to go back and play, somewhere warm. And where else than Barcelona? He hates it. He said in an interview, he's like, if Man City was like a little bit warmer, like I would stay here for the rest of my life. But it's not good for me and my family. You can tell he's more of a beach guy. But
well, it always rains and it's always cold.
Yeah, it's
in
awful.
England, right? So,
But what do you think about Bernie to Juve or Barcelona, Ralph? Because he's your boy.
he is my boy, and I don't know if I want him to go to Barcelona. I mean, would he be on the bench as
Yeah.
like a see?
Because it's
I'd
him
rather-
and Frankie.
I don't know, but he's getting older. His years are numbered. Like he's almost done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather him go to Juve and be a starter and play against Luka Modric and some of these other
Well,
guys.
who would he start for? You have Yildiz for Juve.
Oh,
Well,
you can
he'll
bench
start.
any. Yeah, he'll
He'll
start.
start,
at
but
Juve.
the problem is, you just said like you want him to live out his last like soccer years being competitive, but why wouldn't you be like, dude, this Barcelona team is stacked like dirty, and I can make this team. I can finally get them to a point where they're above. They win Champions League. Like he could be a part of a team that wins something. At Juve, what he's gonna be fighting for 4th and 5th place.
yeah, but
They don't have
I
anything
know,
over
but
there.
he's not gonna start at Barcelona. So
He's old. He doesn't want to start,
oh, he wants to start.
I don't
that,
think
that
so.
guy runs. He runs for days.
and he can
That's-
still run.
I know that's why
There's
he needs
so
to
many
play the whole
games.
game.
I know, but there's so many games for Barcelona. They have Champions League. They have the Copas. In Italy, they just have the Coppa d'Italia, and Juve ain't winning that. Let me tell you, Juve is getting swiped under the rug over in Italy. Like we've noticed that
Yeah,
they've
so
taken
he
a
can
massive
lift
fall.
them. He can lift them.
Not when you're old like that. Not when you score as many goals as he does. He has less goal contributions these last 2
They're
years.
not
than
gonna
he's-
hire him to score goals,
Then what is he there for?
to run the team.
To run what? They don't got a striker. They don't have a midfield. They don't have a back line. They don't even have a goalkeeper.
Or maybe they don't have that because they don't have the guy that makes the plays. Like they don't have a playmaker.
So you're telling me that if
He
Bernie
wants to
was,
spend his last years fixing
so
a broken
You're telling me if Bernie goes to Juve, they're gonna find the goalkeeper. They're gonna find the back line. They're gonna
Yeah.
find everything they need as soon as Bernie gets there. You're telling me that
There's
a
there's
same
players on
goalkeeper
Juve
is
that want to
gonna get
leave. Yildiz, Conceição. There's Scoletti is only there for the rest of this year, and that's it. He only signed he's interim coach. They're gonna have to find a new coach at the end of this year. It's like that's the like, it's
well,
not
you're
like
the one who said either Barca or Juve. So
yeah, but I'm just saying that like that's the transfer. The Juve wants him, but it's different than Bernie wanting them. You know, Bernie wants Barcelona, and Barcelona is also interested. But Juve is also interested, but I don't know if Bernie's interested in them. It's not like Kevin going
if
to
Bernie is asking for it, then that means he wants to take that secondary role. He doesn't mind it because you have
he takes a secondary role at City.
no, he doesn't. He starts every game.
Yeah, but he's not doing any. He's not facilitating anything.
It doesn't matter. He's in there and he's playing defense. He's playing offense.
Pep plays him.
Yeah.
If Pep wants it, he'll do it. Even if Bernie says like I would rather come off the bench, and sometimes it looks like Bernie's like, all right, like I'm gassed, dude, like I'm done, and Pep's like, keep going, you're my ace, you know what I mean? But he's not touching the ball. He's just running for the sake of getting the team to that next mode. But I don't think I don't think he'd be willing to go do that for a team that doesn't have that big of connection for, like for a Juve team that he has no feelings really for, just to get his paycheck. He's not like Kevin going to Napoli. Like Napoli had a lot of pieces. They had
They didn't win.
Scott McTominay. You know, they just came off of winning the Scudetto, so they just won the league. And Kevin's coming in there to be like a missing piece. They're second in the league now. They're not going to win it, obviously. But like he went to a team that already was established. Bernie going to Juve is going to be like, I need you to pick up these pieces. And it's like, there ain't no pieces to pick up, dude. Like, I ain't going to waste my good last couple of years dying in Italy just to help these guys get a Champions League being in 4th place, you know?
Okay. So for me, I want to see him go to a Serie A team and get his playing time. But if he's choosing Barca and he's willing to take that role off of the bench where he's just
I don't know if he even comes off the bench, though.
so he's gonna replace Gavi or
No, Frankie.
Frankie?
Yeah, Frankie doesn't even play that much now. He's always injured.
Hmm?
I don't think if I had to line up Frankie and Bernie in their prime, 100%, no injuries, I'm almost 90% sure I'd still pick Bernie. Bernie gives you a little bit more than Frankie. Frankie plays more like Declan Rice, where he's playing back, controlling pace. Bernie will go get you a goal. Like, okay, you're down. We need somebody to get this goal. Like, how do we do this? And Bernie's not a guy that will score it, but he'll press, he'll move the ball through. Frankie will be like, we're down one. Maybe we just take the loss. You know, Frankie will play back. He's not pushing the ball forward, but that's what Gavi and Pedri are for. and Busquets Jr. over there, Bernal. But like Bernie being in that midfield with Frankie, with Pedri and Gavi might be the solution instead of always relying on Frankie. And Frankie has not been healthy every year since he's been there. So let's jump to the next one. Trafford to Villa. James Trafford.
I know who that is.
What do you think?
I think he should stay.
At City?
Just to be a backup and play the FA Cups.
Poor guy.
Because
Poor
Donnarumma,
guy.
if he gets hurt, he's going to be the next one in line. But isn't that the same thing that's going to happen in Villa? Or is Emi Martinez retiring? Or
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure why he would even interest that. It'd be like
it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, but that he wants a chance to fight for it. It's just because look at Donnarumma's only 27, 28. He's young. He doesn't look it, but he's young. Like, dude, Trafford's going to be sitting behind Donnarumma for a long time.
10, 12, 14
And
years.
maybe
He's
with
gonna be
Emmy, he has a little bit less time to
He's gonna
wait.
be like Scott Carson.
Yeah.
over there at, where he was with City for like
Yeah, Scott
like
Carson.
13 years and he played one game.
He looks like a history teacher with his beard and his hair swooped over. Yeah, it's like poor guy never.
Do you even know who that is?
No, but I've seen them.
That's your third choice keeper.
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah,
you guys
you
keep him on
guys-
your bench forever. Like he's a vibes guy.
he's
He's
a
just there.
practice guy.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
Poor
That's
Trafford.
how in baseball, you have a lot of catchers that get paid a good amount of money and they've never played a single game, but because the pitcher likes them and likes throwing to them in practice, they'll stay on that team
yeah.
just for the practice of it, and that guy will make a career out of it, but he'll never play a single game in the MLB. Same thing like that goalie. He's been
Yeah.
there for 13 years. He's just happy to be there and get paid.
What do you think, Trafford to Villa?
I don't think it's gonna go well. I mean, they still have Emmy. I think Trafford. I think Trafford. He's gonna be on the bench. Whether he stays at City or he goes to Aston Villa.
He's hitting the bench no matter what.
Should go to West Ham.
What team would you? Is that what you're saying? West Ham, Trafford.
Just because they're down at the bottom. And
What team would you like to see Trafford at? Jess?
I think if Spurs get relegated, they're gonna have to get rid of their goalie and some guys. I feel like what they do is to get Trafford from City and because he was with Burnley last season and he brought them back to the Premier
The
League.
Premier League, yeah.
Maybe he could do the same with Spurs.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
that's a really good one, actually. Yeah. Because you're right. If Tottenham, they go down and they got to sell their goalie, how good would it be to get Trafford and then win the league and come back to the Premier League, and now you have a semi-established goalie?
Yeah, Trafford. I think Trafford just needs to find a new home. Poor guy. Pep promised him the world, but
Like they made a whole video of
Yeah.
him. He's like, I'm back home.
Yeah,
And then they're showing
so
it from
sad.
like how he's from the academy and stuff. And
Mhm.
after that next like 2 weeks later he's on the bench.
Donnarumma was over there driving by, and Pep's all like,
Well, when Pep talked to Trafford, he said, "We got milk, but I can't promise you no cookies."
"Yes, that's a good one." What do we think about Bradley Barcola? Not getting a lot of I think he gets good. I think he doesn't get. I think there's a misconception. They think that he doesn't get any minutes at PSG, but he gets a fair amount of minutes at
He gets just
PSG.
20 minutes.
Bradley to Liverpool, to help with Frimpong or Milo Kirkis. Mostly, I think Frimpong. I think he would be taking Frimpong's
Yeah, because
space.
Kirkis is
Where will this Frimpong play?
midfield.
No, he plays the right back.
does
Yeah, he
he?
does. Remember
okay.
at
And
Leverkusen,
then
he was the
Kirkis plays the left back, right?
Mhm.
So is Barcola? I thought he was a midfielder or a winger.
No, he's winger.
He's a back.
Winger.
he plays he's a winger, but he can also play as a right back.
So
as
he's
well.
a winger, but what maybe like the wingers give him the ball like a through bar,
Mhm.
like they play through him, they overlap and stuff.
Oh, that
You
makes
can
him a
make
left
him. You
back.
can just throw him anywhere.
No, it doesn't.
I think Bradley's very versatile. For a lot of teams, like
He's like a Nico O'Reilly type guy.
yeah, kind of like that, kind of like a mix of like Hakimi as well. Hakimi goes all the way up, and he's a great offensive guy to have. What do you think about him playing Liverpool though? I think that's a good way of restarting this team.
I think it'll strengthen Liverpool. I know PSG will miss him, but You know,
I don't think they're good. I think they'll be okay if they lose.
No,
Bradley.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
They're not
it's
gonna
like-
be like, oh my god, don't.
Yeah, I
leave.
know. Yeah, they'll be like, okay, yeah, sure.
But if you want to stay, you know, we'll keep
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But if he goes to Liverpool, I think he makes a huge impact because he's athletic, he's fast. Remember that Champions League when we watched PSG destroy Man City? I
Yeah.
said that Bradley Barcola kid,
Mhm.
that guy is good. And,
Yeah.
you know, he's become a really good player. So I would love to see him at Liverpool play in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
See him every
because
week.
I hate PSG for one reason, and that's we don't have anything where we can watch their games. Like
I know.
it's hard to watch any of their games, so we
Mhm.
always end up just watching highlights. Or if they're playing in the Champions League, then
Yeah,
that's when
yeah.
we get to see them. But
Unless you have Bean Sports.
yeah, you have to have Bean
I
Sports.
have Bean Sports.
Yeah, Bean Sports.
BN Sports.
I thought you talk about the Mexican channel.
Jazz, what do you think about Bradley Barcola to Liverpool?
I think it'll be good because Mo Salah is leaving at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be really good for him. He can play on the right. You
Mhm.
know, you can have Cody Gakpo on one side, Barcola on the other, and then for your striker you can have
Isaac.
Isak or
Ikitike.
Ekitike if he comes
Well,
back
he ain't never
from
coming
his
back.
injury. Hopefully he does.
Yeah. Crazy though. Gakpo on one side and Bradley on the other side. It's like Cody Gakpo is not on the same level as Bradley. I'm a big fan of Gakpo, but I think he's past his time. But Bradley on one side is a nice way of restarting this Liverpool team. You're losing Mo Salah, but bringing in Bradley Barcola is like a nice piece of the puzzle to have. You have Verts in the middle now. I think he's starting to find his way. Bradley Barcola on one side. You can start building a team that's like, all right, like here we go.
They can come back.
Yeah, like this is a team that we can start looking at and start thinking about them making challenges again. Another one is a player from Real, Tchouaméni, but to PSG or Man United. Those are the two teams.
Oh, too many.
PSG. I almost feel like it's like what? Why do they need more players? They even got Emery that comes off the bench that plays
Zaire
in the midfield.
Emery.
Yeah, they have so many. They have Dro in the midfield. It's like, why do you need so many? Fabian Ruiz, he's coming back from injury.
Who, by the way, that game with Bayern
Mhm.
was so up and down. Remember, I told you that it's not stopping.
Yeah,
As soon as Fabian Ruiz came in, he was the only guy getting fouls. Like he was the only person stopping the game.
yeah, he's a
So-
smart player.
Mm,
But yeah, he definitely knows his limits, I think.
yeah.
But what do you think about Tchouaméni either to PSG or Man United? Man United need a whole another midfield. We have to remember. No Casemiro. I guess they're keeping Kobe Mainu there in the midfield, but Bruno's starting to get older. Casemiro's gone, so start thinking about Man United, what they're going to
Is
do in that
Tchouaméni
midfield.
young? Is he like a
Yeah,
young?
he's
like
a youngish
24,
player.
I think 24.
right?
Yeah, he's younger.
So he's a young midfielder.
French.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tchouaméni, yeah, I think Man United would probably be the best bet for him. Like you said, PSG stacked. I don't know why they keep having all these players.
There's another player actually that they're actually looking at too, and I'm like, where are they gonna play? Morgan Rogers from Villa
Oh, Morgan
to
Rogers.
PSG, and I'm like, where are they gonna play? But maybe sometimes players are fine with sitting on the bench for a little bit to kind of like play on a team that stacked. But it is what it is. What do you think, Jess?
I think, well, if he goes to PSG, I think he's gonna get like 15 minutes per game,
Mhm.
possibly.
Yeah.
If he's lucky, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, they might not even want him after the two yellows he got in the Champions League. Like, you know what? We'll give you a little bit less time.
Yeah,
But I think as well that Man U will be a good fit for him. You know, they're rebuilding again. They're finally finding their form. They'll be in champions next
Mhm.
year, hopefully. And I think replacing Casemiro, Tchouaméni, which both came from Real Madrid
I know.
to Man United,
Yeah.
I think that'll be good.
and it would help. It would help a lot with Bruno to have a defensive guy that can just get dirty. You know, Casemiro did that, but he was kind of a lot slower than
Yeah,
Tchouaméni,
he
like-
was like super slow.
yeah compared
So-
to. He just has a huge head.
So because of this transfer rumor, Do you think it really swayed into where Real is trying to get rid of Tchouaméni because of what he did, and he got the yellow and the red?
The fans are not happy with him.
well, the fans, but
Yeah, but I mean, you can trade.
or was this a conversation already was up
I'm
in
not
the air?
sure. I'm not sure because I remember them talking about Camavinga leaving Real Madrid, but
There's
now
a bunch of Real Madrid players leaving.
yeah,
season.
now it's like it looks like they're trying to do a whole rebuild on Real Madrid, like who's staying, who's leaving, which is pretty crazy.
I'm
to
pretty
me
sure
'cause-
it's all their midfield too, because
Yeah.
Camavinga supposedly leaving, Chouameni's supposed to leave. I'm not remember, but I'm pretty sure like one or two more people.
I
might
think
also be
Brahim
leaving.
Diaz is also on that
Yeah.
list. Yeah, I saw that they were like, yeah, let's probably move him.
Well, he had that AFCON run, and now people are asking about him. I think
I don't know who.
Hmm.
Maybe Villa.
I would love to have him as my right wing.
You have Semenyo.
Right wing.
That's where he plays. Is a right wing.
Yeah, I know, but you have.
You have Semenyo over
yeah.
there.
Yeah, somebody on the bench.
You have Semenyo.
Oh,
you
he's
could
gonna go sit on the bench for you.
Look,
Please.
he has Semenyo. Then you could also put Turkey right wing. He plays.
And
at
No, we
right
have
wing.
and
Savinho.
Savinho.
And Savinho. So you're already good.
I think you're fine over there. Let's talk about a little bit someone that might help Ralph's team, even though he doesn't even like the guy. And when I showed him the actual video of Elliot Anderson playing, he thought he played for Villa for some odd reason, and that he
I was watching the
and he
other
was a
guy play
different-
for half the game.
and it was a different skin color completely. But that's neither here nor there. Elliot Anderson for City. What do we think about that, Ralph?
I don't want that guy. But I know you said that City was looking at him.
Your dad has actually said this for most City players, by the way. I brought up multiple players that have I've said like, hey, they could be
Oh yeah,
going.
now we said we
and
don't
your
need
dad
him.
and your dad's always been like, huh? Like I remember talking about Donnarumma, and he's like, I don't know about Donnarumma.
No, Donnarumma.
yeah,
I was
no,
all
you
for.
did not. You did not
Yeah,
like
because
it.
no.
Yes, because I was trying to kick Ederson out. By
Yes,
that
you were
point.
trying to kick Ederson out, but you were also like, I have James Trafford. Remember? I remember your dad saying it. Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't
because
want
he was high on Trafford when he first came in. Remember, he had like 2 good games. And your dad's James Trafford.
Yeah, like, we don't need Donnarumma.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't say it about that. I know I did say it about Gahey though. Gahey, I was like,
you did,
I don't need that guy.
You do most for most City guys.
Yeah.
But like,
Kushnoff, I was excited when we got Kushnoff.
No, you weren't.
no, you weren't.
I was.
One
No,
game
you
in,
weren't.
and your dad was already like, I hope I never see that kid play ever again for us. But who am I to go against Pep? If Pep wants the kid, who am I to say no?
If he wants to keep Rico Lewis, I guess we'll keep Rico Lewis.
So you're not interested in Elliot Anderson joining City?
Neither here nor there. Like
That's-
I don't think we need him, but
You don't need him. You're losing Bernie.
I don't. We still have a lot of midfielders. I have Phil Foden who hasn't played. I need him to get back into form.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
right
Phil
wing.
Foden should be leaving. But let's jump over to Jazz. Elliot Anderson, Jazz to City. What do you think?
I think he'll do good there if he
Mhm.
goes. I think Bernie leaving, the big shoes to fill over
Huge shoes, to fill.
there.
He's like
Especially,
a size 8.
I'm gonna mute your mic.
Mute his mic, Jazz. But yeah,
It's too far.
Elliot Anderson. I know we haven't seen too much of him, but say Forest go down, getting him from a relegated team.
Would be cheaper.
Yeah, so cheap. Like it would be so nice to grab him at
Nice
that
to have
time.
him on my bench. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now
Pep's,
you agree.
Pep's
I
not
thought
even
you
gonna
were
be coaching
hearing
you
it.
guys next year. You didn't get Enzo Maresca on your team. But let's jump over to maybe someone that your dad can give us a yes or no instead of sitting on the fence today. Andy Robertson to Spurs. What does anybody think about that one? I know your dad's gonna be like, who?
Yeah, ooh, I don't care.
He plays for Liverpool.
Oh, I know who it is. It's the
Yeah,
lefty guy.
He has no idea who
Oh,
he
I
is.
know who he is.
He has no idea. What do you think though? Spurs get him or not?
I don't know. What if Spurs get relegated? Are they still eligible to go out and get him?
Well, no. That's the thing. So
yeah.
should they get him if they do stay up though?
Well, if he's gonna help them, I mean, they need all the help they can get. They're a good team. They were top 4 in Champions League. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe you could tell me, but I don't know what happened during the season that they just fell. They
Where Charlotte's
took-
gonna happen?
no. It happened that Richarlison sat the bench and didn't play. That's the reason. But they
He's-
just took a nosedive and they never recovered. Like nobody pulled the the plane steering, and you pull it back, which you go back up to where you were.
Yeah.
They just nose dove and they're about to hit the ground. So if they can get them and they don't get relegated, great. But they do need to play Richarlison. So
This is why I asked your dad before I put these on here. Like, do you know this player? Do you know what they're doing?
I know all these players.
He has
Doesn't mean
no
I
idea.
care about them. Like I
has
don't
no
care
idea.
about these guys.
But Andy Robertson to Spurs, Jazz, what do you think?
I mean, it was said that if they do stay up, then he already agreed to it if
Mhm.
they stay up.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be a good.
I feel
if
like he
they
can be the
stay up,
captain.
I feel like he could do good. you know.
Yeah.
With Liverpool, he's a good player, but I think they're just like switching players out.
Yeah.
They're finding new people at Liverpool, and I think
Mm.
Spurs are just there to like try to get the people so they stay up and
I
try
think they
to
need some
become
more
the top
leaders on
6
that
team.
Spurs team. They need some people that can get them out of the mud. And I think Andy Robertson's a good pickup for them. By the way, shout out Chick-fil-A. Shout out Spicy Deluxe. No tomatoes, extra pickles. If it looks like
No
Ralph is
pickles.
disinterested, it's because he just had a large fry and a large drink today. But let's jump over to I didn't even get to bring this one up because I don't even think it's worth it at this point. But we'll go to Jose Mourinho.
No,
to,
we're not skipping. We're
I'm
doing
skipping
Enzo.
because you don't even want it. You just gave me a whole spiel on Andy Robertson. I don't care about the guy. I don't care where he goes.
I
So
don't-
why does it care if I ask you about Enzo?
Because I know Enzo.
No. But
I
let me
know
ask Chaz. Enzo Fernandez, there's actually 2 rumors. Enzo to Madrid, which is what he did the whole podcast. He jumped on a podcast and said that he would like
Whose
to
podcast.
he did a podcast, some Spanish Argentinian podcast. They asked him a question and he screwed up by saying like, I wouldn't mind living in Madrid. I would love to play for Real.
Oh, you
but-
pulled a Leonard Carl?
No, but Rodri did the same thing. He said, I played for Atleti. I wouldn't mind playing at Real Madrid. But the difference is Pep didn't suspend Rodri, but my coach at the time, Liam Senior, suspended Enzo for 2 games, and I lost both games because he said that that's disrespectful. But Pep said, why is it disrespectful? Like, if anybody would want to play for a top club like that, like, it's not that big of a deal. And Pep didn't bench Rodri for that comment, but there's a rumor that Enzo could go to Madrid or he can go to City. And, Ralph is not a big fan of his, but he doesn't see, like, I watch him and I was also very critical of him. But for me, it felt like he really dragged Chelsea out of the mud this year when Cole Palmer just really didn't do anything besides pee in the bed. Enzo really dragged this team to be like, dude, I came here and we've had 5 coaches and I don't complain. Like, I've had 5 coaches. We were dying. Like, we couldn't get anybody to come here. He was the one that went out and got Caicedo, tried to convince him to come. Like, he's been a focal point for this Chelsea team. And a lot of times when I really need a goal and it's an important game, for some odd reason, he always shows up. Like, big games, he shows up for some odd reason. Like, I can hate the guy all I want, but, like, the only thing I can say is that every time it's a huge game, he balls. Like, he plays like it's like he knows what's at stake. And I think it's because he played with Messi in that World Cup that it almost rubbed off on him. Like, every big game is a moment to show like what I can do in this role. Like, okay, he might not play perfect all year, but the big games, I don't care if he played horrible all year, but if he wins the big game for me, I only care about trophies for me. What do you think about Enzo either going to City or Madrid?
I think that he should go to Real Madrid
Mm-hmm.
because if Elliot Anderson does go to Man City,
Yeah,
then I think
I think that.
that would end the deal with Enzo and City
Mhm.
and Enzo going to Real Madrid. I think that'll be really good, especially because they're replacing their midfield a lot
Yeah,
for next season. They're trying to get, like I said, they're trying to like just get new people in the midfield, and I think Enzo would be a good replacement for one of the 3 people that Real Madrid are potentially losing.
yeah. And I actually looked it up as well because I knew we were gonna talk about this, but I looked it up. The year that Jude Bellingham, I think it was last year, I looked up his stats and compared them because that was the year that they're like, oh, Jude Bellingham should be in the conversation for Ballon d'Or. Remember when we were like,
Yeah.
what are you guys talking about? I matched his stats with Enzo's this year, and this is a down year for him as well. Enzo hasn't been playing as good. He's been suspended a couple games. The yellow cards has been a factor, but I matched him up with Jude. More GAs, less minutes, and less games than Jude did the year that he was supposedly probably the best midfielder in the world, when he would score the goal and then he would do this to the fans and stuff like that. He had less GAs than Enzo did in a more physical league. Enzo plays in a more physical league compared to Jude. Like, it's just proven that La Liga is not as physical as the Premier League. But everybody was hyped, especially the English media was like, Jude Bellingham should be Ballon d'Or material, and he didn't even have as many GAs as Enzo has this year on a bad year, you know. And I just think the only thing that I'll finish off with this before I send it to Ralph is that the thing that I also was thinking about is that if Pep does leave this year and they got Enzo Maresca, the guy that he always got to play really well was Enzo. And there's a guy that they already have a relationship with. Bringing him in will be kind of like a cornerstone for the way he wants to run it. And to have him in the midfield with Rodri and Nico Gonzalez and Nico O'Reilly, you know, it would kind of help that transition between Pep and Enzo Maresca. But go ahead, Ralph. What do you think about Enzo Fernandez joining either City or Madrid? What would you rather him go to? Or what do you think is his best fit?
Well, I was on the fence. You know, I was like, oh, I don't need Enzo. I don't want Enzo. But, you know, that's just me giving you shit. But, though, if Rodri ends up leaving, if Bernie ends up leaving, I think Enzo would be a good fit for City. In that midfield, I think him and O'Reilly and, you know, Cherky.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cherky's also an offense. They're all three of them would be an offensive force. But yeah, if we lose two of our midfielders, our world-class midfielders, I think we really need to get somebody. And you were talking about Anderson, who's a midfielder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Enzo would probably be a better fit. He's a high-caliber player.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson would just be maybe a bench player, a role player.
Yeah, like a Kova or, you know, someone
like Kovac.
that... Yeah.
You see Kova was back.
I like his hair.
He did pretty good. He looked like
he looks
Phil
like Phil,
Foden's, older brother. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if we lost those midfielders. I wouldn't mind. I think Enzo would be a good fit for us. In Madrid, you know, he might actually be pretty good over there. I think he's got choices.
Yeah,
and it depends on how he does in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna determine like who's gonna want him more.
Yeah.
So if he has a crappy World Cup, they're gonna be like, oh well, I don't know if I want it. But
Yeah,
if he
spend
does
a lot.
good, yeah,
Because you're gonna have to spend a lot of money to get him, and it's like, is he really like? I still think that he wasn't worth that price tag, but I also have to remember. I got tongue tied. I also have to remember that he's the captain of my team. Like, there's little things that he did that, like, okay, I don't know if I really could put a price tag on that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's still, it was a lot of money. You know,
yeah, it was a lot of money for a kid who didn't do it by himself. Like
Yeah.
you could argue that Mbappe was probably more important and a better performance when he won the World Cup as a young kid with France than Enzo did.
Oh yeah.
So I think this is going to be the test for him, and it will determine like where he goes and who really wants him.
I can also see him going to like Atleti too, and joining that team and being like joining Julian over there, because they're best friends. They're Argentinian. They're really close friends. And to see him, like I say Atleti should go all in, get Phil, get Enzo, get Julian, keep them together, and like go out there and try to do something special with this. Maybe with a team that looks a little different from Diego Simeone's normal teams, you know?
Yeah, but isn't he almost on his way out to like he's
Simeone?
He's like almost done coaching.
Yeah, but still, wouldn't it be kind of cool to see him one time? To
I would
switch it
love
up
to see all that.
and having Koke in the back and like all those thugs over in Atleti being like, I got your back. Like, don't worry. Like, you don't have to worry about this. You know, it'd be kind of cool. But the last one we'll go to, and I think this one will be a good conversation. I really want to hear what everybody thinks about this.
Jeez, I probably have nothing good to say.
Oh my goodness. Even if it's bad, I would love to know what everybody thinks. Jose Mourinho is rumored to be the next head coach of Real Madrid because Flo Perez is
Florentino Perez.
yeah, he's in charge of. He's like no more, no sporting directors. I'm gonna go pick the next coach, and he's already like Jose. I think he wants someone that can just get this team and grab them by their throats and be like, look, you gotta listen to me, and you gotta listen to what I have to say, and you gotta do what I say. And Jose Mourinho has pedigree, and he's coached there before. He's won things everywhere he's gone. He's one of the best teams. We just talked about it, that his team was undefeated for a lot of this year, and like, how do you not respect a guy like that? So what do you guys think about Jose Mourinho coming and coaching one more time Real Madrid? Jazz?
Well, let me go first because
Okay.
I have less to say. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
probably
yeah.
have more to say about it. I'm just going to say that he's an established manager who's been at Madrid and he's been successful there. He left and he was successful there. So I think he would be a good fit to come back. You have your, Arebola, I think.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's the guy that's
That's actually a nice way of pronouncing it. I hate the way the English media says it.
Arebola. How do they say it?
Abila?
Arebola?
Yeah, Arebola.
Ah,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
that's
I'm
Arebola.
almost positive that's not his name, but all right.
No, that's why I asked if he was Spanish. I was like, yeah, it's Arebola.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would get rid of him, bring this guy back.
You would get rid of him? I was hearing maybe that, like,
He stays
why
an
wouldn't he
assistant?
why wouldn't he? If I was him, I'd be like, why can't I just stay here and be like, maybe an assistant coach? Like, what would be the
Yeah,
problem with that?
They
But
have the
I mean,
money.
it would be Jose Mourinho to say yes or no, but wouldn't it be kind of a good idea maybe to be like, oh, maybe you put him as an assistant coach, or I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't think he really had any issues with the players.
I think he was a pretty decent coach too.
Yeah, because with Xavi, you could tell.
Yeah, there was not.
was
that
more-
was such a bad
Yeah,
relationship.
it was just bad all around. So with this guy, you can keep him, like you said, as his assistant and bring in Mourinho as your head coach. And I think he could probably do something with this Madrid team because they need some help. They need to get back to.
Does Mbappe listen to him? What do you think, Ralph?
I think so.
It's so difficult. He's such a pain.
If it was Turkey, I'd say no.
Yeah.
I think Mbappe is a little bit more, where he would listen to him. No,
I feel like he's so. I think the biggest problem is, like, the next head coach has to be someone that Mbappe approves of, not Vinny. I think if Vinny doesn't like the coach, I'd be like, kick rocks,
yeah,
go, leave then.
yeah. Vinny, I think at this point you can replace him or let him go, or if hopefully he listens to your coach. But
I would love to see what Vinny looks like on another team, though. Crazy
yeah, it'd be nice.
to see where he heads up. What do you think about Jose Mourinho to Madrid, Jazzy?
I think he'll be a phenomenal coach there. I mean, he won FC Porto their first Champions League
Yeah,
when he went there, which is insane because, well, they're a Portuguese team,
yeah.
You wouldn't expect them to win a Champions League,
Mm-mm.
You expect maybe like a quarterfinal, but to win with them is insane. So you know that his tactics work.
He
You
won
know-
he won with Chelsea as well, and the Premier League. I think he's a part of the team that had the lowest scoring goals of all time. Remember the record we were talking about Arsenal trying to beat it and they didn't even get close. But like you were saying, Jazz, like, what coach can take Porto and go win the whole thing?
It's like it's just like nobody would ever expect it. Nobody.
No,
If you tell somebody from that year, they're like
Yeah.
FC Porto is gonna
Yeah.
win the Champions League, they would call you crazy
yeah,
because nobody would expect it. You'd be like, like there's a Real Madrid, there's a
Mhm.
AC Milan, a
There's
Barcelona,
Bayern.
a Bayern. There's just, it's just insane to think that he managed to pull that off.
yeah,
So, and like he didn't beat Real Madrid, but he with Benfica this year, you had the goal that the goalkeeper made to keep
was
them
that
in
that
Champions.
game?
yeah. He's
I
the coach of
remember
that
that
team.
game.
Yeah,
Remember we brought it up in the pod, and I was like, he always has something for his former teams. Like, I'm taking, like, you think you like, I'm leaving here with something,
and that's when he would wouldn't stop talking about it for like 50 hours.
I know, and
so-
that was the head coach of the team that you were going crazy about the goal. But
But yeah, I
that's a
think
good callback, Jazz.
I think
It's
he's
a
gonna
good
be
callback.
a very good, phenomenal coach. Because I'm pretty sure also he was like Barcelona one time. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, he was an assistant coach for Luis and Pep, which is pretty crazy.
For both of them.
hmm
So I think he has the brains because to be with Luis Enrique, which is now considered a top manager, has been with Pep, which is also considered one of the greatest.
And he
managers.
coached
No, he
against-
is. He is.
He coached against Luis Enrique with that Barcelona team. He was the coach of Real at the time. Like, and they fought, and like it was very close back and forth. And I think at one point people were saying that Jose was better than Luis for a long time. That like he outcoached him. So that's another really great callback, Jazz. Like, it's not like this guy's like he just gets lucky wherever he goes, and he's just kind of like some mediocre coach or whatever. He's not Sir Alex Ferguson, which I think is he got lucky and coaching a Man United team, and they hype him up too much. Jose Mourinho has gone to different leagues and done it with different teams, different styles, different players, different profiles, and different cultures. That like Porto doesn't have the same money as Real Madrid, and he still did it.
And the craziest thing to me is that he never played. He never. Played,
Yeah.
Which is insane to me because from, like, for example, Diego Simeone, he played
Mhm.
at Fletty and he also coached there.
Yeah.
And for Mourinho to not play a single match,
Mhm.
to know this much about the game is
Yeah.
just that's above insanity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because most of those top managers, they're all former players, right?
Mhm.
Like-
Most like 90%
like
of them.
Pep, he played.
Mhm.
Luis
had
Enrique,
hair
he
back then,
played.
by
Flick, he played.
Yeah.
Like all these top managers that we see at top leagues right now, they've all played in
At a high
at
level.
a high level.
It's not like they're like played out, at middle school and stuff. These
Like, for
guys
example,
are ballers.
the manager for Argentina, I'm pretty sure he also played.
Yeah, Luis
Scaloni.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he also won a World Cup.
Mhm.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he also won one.
Yeah.
So like all these top managers that you see, they've played the game before.
Yeah.
Then there's Jose Mourinho, hasn't played a single minute and
Yeah.
is considered one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a great comparison. So, you're talking about Jose Mourinho's never played.
Mm-hmm.
What about a guy in the NBA, Eric Spoelstra, who was not a player?
Yeah.
He was a video assistant.
Yeah, video assistant. I was trying to think if he a ball boy or not.
No, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
But no, yeah, he was a video guy.
He was a video guy, and
Mhm.
he's a top coach.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's crazy for him to be considered one of the best managers out there, and he didn't play a single minute, like you said. Like,
It brings hope to me. So
does it really?
yeah, because it makes me feel like I always hate when it comes up to the fact that it's like,
How
well, you
did he-
didn't play, and it's like, well, one of the greatest coaches of all time didn't play. So how
Yeah.
wrong could I really be?
That was Christina Uncle's response also.
Yeah.
So by the way, I was watching that Champions League,
Uh-huh.
and when they had a little controversy, and they're like, "Oh, VAR,"
Yeah,
they're like, "I wonder if we're gonna hear from Christina Uncle." And
I'm
a
sure they
ghost-
were all like, yeah, you please, goodness, no one
Ghost,
send it.
like I don't think she's doing that anymore. I don't think she's coming in.
Oh, I think she will be.
You think so?
It brings ratings to that CBS.
I know, but they called it out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh well, we need clarification.
Mhm.
They're like, well, I wonder if Christina Uncle's gonna come in and let us know, and we just never heard about it anymore. So I don't. And during the halftime show, they were also saying, oh, "Are we gonna have Christina, explain this to us?" And
Yeah.
Henri was,
Yeah, he's
like,
already
I don't want to
like,
have it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think she's doing that anymore.
yeah, it's a bad look. It was a real bad look what she called. But I'll just say Jose Mourinho to Madrid, I think we always talked about like, what does Real need, right? We're always like, why can't they do this? What happened? I still think the biggest problem is Mbappe, and I still think to this day, until they get rid of Mbappe, they're not gonna win Champions League. But the second best thing they can do is get a coach that's like, just listen to me. I've done this before. Like, you just gotta do what I ask. And can Mbappe finally put his ego aside and listen and do it? And we'll see if he can do that. I think Jose Mourinho would be
Yeah,
the
but
best
that
choice.
just blows my mind how you're saying Mbappe's the problem because he was a problem at PSG. It seems like he's a problem in Real. But why is it that when he plays for his country, he's great, he elevates his team, and he comes up big in big moments?
Yeah, but it's because he's spoon fed over there.
You think so?
Yeah, he doesn't he comes up big, right? But like, did he really come up big in that World Cup game? Those are penalties that he shot that he
Were-
didn't create.
Were both of them penalties? The two goals?
Two of them were.
Oh.
It was 3-3 at before penalties, and he scored 2 penalties and then 1 goal.
Yeah. So it's like, but he didn't create those. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's
one-
big. He's a big time player. I think there's nothing to take away from it. It's his attitude and the way he sinks. He
think-
drags the rest of his team, and they start questioning everything instead of just being like, Dembele just shuts up. Like he said in the thing they had. I don't know if you saw the end of the game, but Micah Richards asked them in the video, and he was like, "Why do you run? Like what do you eat during the game?" Before the game, so you have so much energy to run. And he's all like, well, if I don't run, I gonna get benched. Like Luis Enrique, it told me I need to go run, so I'm running. They tell Mbappe that, and he'd be like, I don't care. Like, I'm the best player in the world, so I don't really have to do that. I think he thinks he's the same as Ronaldo or a Messi type of guy, but he's not. Like, even Ronaldo, okay, he didn't run, but like he still carried his team to be like, he puts some moments on his back to get him over the hump, right? And Mbappe sometimes, his little like delays of doing stuff is what caused goals going the other way. You know what I mean? And he doesn't track back. He doesn't play hard. I still think the biggest problem is him. Because they were fine without him when they had just Vinny and Rodrigo, no striker. They had Jose Lu in the middle. They were winning the league with Jose Lu as a striker, you know? And having Mbappe on the team, I think, is done worse than make them better.
Well, I don't think we've seen Real this low in a long
Yeah,
time.
no,
Well,
this is years and years of not winning trophies, which is bizarre.
like Mbappe, you know, I think he has too much of an ego because while he was at PSG, Luis Enrique sat down with
Mhm.
him.
I love that video.
And told him, like, he was telling him a bunch of stuff, how he needs to run back, he can't be walking and stuff, and like he just tells him a bunch of stuff, telling him how it could be even more greater if he just listened to the tactics.
Mhm.
And then after that he left. Like, for example, like how Chuck said with how Ronaldo and Messi, how they walk but like they do it with the cause that doesn't affect the play.
Yeah, yeah,
For example, Messi, he walks, but when he gets the ball,
yeah.
or when the team starts building up play, that's
Uh-huh.
when he starts running. Like
Yeah.
Mbappe, when his team starts playing up, he just continues walking. He doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't go with his team. He doesn't attack with the team. He just stays and keeps on walking, and that's a big problem, especially if they center it and there's nobody in the middle. They're like, "Where's Mbappe at?" And he's barely.
Yeah,
and he's
barely moving up,
getting
and it's
there.
like, you're supposed to be right there.
Are you sure? Because I usually see him offsides every time that happens. Like, he's always offside, so.
well,
No, he's always too far back, or he's not where he's supposed to be. It's like, I
I'm
know
pretty
that might
sure-
not be his position, but like, that's what I paid you for.
And I'm
Find the
pretty
goal.
sure he's like, because like he's people say he's the reason why Neymar left PSG, the
Yeah.
reason why Sergio Ramos left, the reason why Donnarumma,
Mhm.
why Messi, why all these managers left, the reason why all these like Xavi Alonso, like
Everybody always talks about him in a negative sense. It's like, you can't be besides Messi. Messi's never said anything besides positive stuff about him. But like every single other person is always giving him said negative things about him. It's like, okay, that's like bad. That's like, you can't have this many enemies
Yeah.
of former players. You know what I mean? But we'll see how Jose does with Real. I really hope he gets the job, and I think it'd be interesting to see him go 1-on-1 against Hansi, because it'd be like, oh, this is fun, because they're too old. They're two old guys, you know, trying to coach a certain way, and I think it'd be fun to see that matchup instead of someone that like Hansi Flick is out coaching whoever's at Real Madrid every time. It'd be kind of cool to see Hansi go against someone that's, you know, a tactician like he is. So we'll see. I like it. Any more thoughts on Mbappe, Ralph, or you're good on closing the book on Mbappe and then Jose and Real in general.
No, I think you guys explained it because for me, like I saw a little bit different is, he's a great player and I don't see a lot of the negative stuff that you guys mentioned. But yeah, I mean, if his players and his managers are saying the same thing, then he's obviously the problem, So we'll see how long Real keeps him.
If you were the coach, Ralph, would you keep, if you had to make a decision, get rid of Rodrigo and Neymar, Rodrigo and Vinny, and build around Mbappe, but have him play not striker and have him play like a position that he's more used to? I think it's a left wing, right? Left wing. But you have to get rid of Vinny and Rodrigo to get to that point. Or do you get rid of Mbappe and keep Vinny and Rodrigo and kind of build off of those two? Like, would you rather keep Mbappe, right, and switch him over to a position that maybe he feels more comfortable with, and maybe that would get him back to, playing, having more of a positive look on the team, or what?
For me, I would do that. I would keep Mbappe and
get
move
rid
him
of
over and get rid of. I mean, Rodrigo, it's easy to say because he's hurt.
Yeah.
But Vinny, like you said, it's kind of like he's been there so long at Real that I kind of want to see him somewhere else too. Like, let's see what he could do somewhere else. Like, I don't want to see him at Real anymore. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of negative stuff going on, and I think he just needs to go to a team where he can just play and he doesn't have to, deal with all the outside noise.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I want to do more of these transfer ones. Maybe next time we'll go a little bit quicker and try to pump through these a little faster because I want to get a bigger list than just these ones. But we're going to try to get Ralph to get more, know more of these players and maybe
more knowledge.
And maybe we'll get some more. We'll find some players that.
How about you tell these players to elevate their game so that they actually make my watch list?
You got to start watching some of these guys.
They're nobodies. A lot of these guys are.
You said Elliot Anderson played for Villa. He's white and he plays for Forest.
And I was watching the game.
I thought you got him. Think you got him mixed up with Onana a couple of times. I was like, that's not Elliot Anderson. But
I think they were the same shoe size.
I think what I'm gonna start doing for Ralph, anyways, is I'm gonna start sending some clips early on of some players that before I would keep all the players that I like. I like keeping all the players that I've been keeping tabs on throughout the years, so I can be like, look at Ralph. I called it before anybody else. But I think now I really want to get to the point where we can send each other stuff that like Ralph, I've always loved. He doesn't do it as much anymore now, but back in the day, when he first was getting back into football, he would be like, I like this player, and then maybe down the line they'll be good. And out of maybe 6-7 times, he did get him right, and I was like, how did I miss that? Like, your dad watched one game of Bournemouth
10 minutes
of Milos Kerkez, and I was like, if people were already talking about him, but Ralph didn't know anything about anything.
I hadn't seen a single Bournemouth game in Tesla. Like, you got to watch this, and I called him.
And I
10
didn't
minutes
say
later.
what player. I said one player is looked at by other teams, and that was it. And your dad watched maybe 5-10 minutes. He's like, it's him, and I was like, there's no way you got this because
I told you, hey, who's that? That left back with the weird hair. Remember? That guy's pretty good.
Yeah, and your dad has done that multiple times. And I think it would be better for the pod in general if we did start doing that a little bit more and being like there might be a player in here that you might see that you might like, so maybe watch this game this
and we
weekend.
could be like yes or no on this.
Yeah, be like yes or no, and then be like, is this guy the future? Not really. So I think that's a good one for us, and even for people watching. Like, I would love to see some of the viewers, sending us some players to be like, hey, watch this guy, let us know what you think about him. And we can do a pod about, people that have sent players in and then we all watched and been like, yeah, yay or nay on some of these players.
Yeah,
so,
like watch Harvey Barnes.
Ugh. Your dad's watched one game of his. Who has watched a lot of games of his? George. But yeah.
Shout out George.
That ends this pod. I'm glad Ralph is enjoying his big, large drink over there. So, thumbs up. I want to everybody give the thumbs up on the video, subscribe, and send lots of comments. Bro, put your thumb down.